How did one man's dream result in a new city and lead to the formation of Longview Community Church? In 1922, Robert A. Long's lumber business in Missouri was running out of trees. They had scouted the Pacific Northwest for timber and town sites and decided on Southwest Washington. Land was purchased, plans were developed, and by 1925, a large sawmill had been constructed. To attract qualified workers for the new mill, along with their families, meant providing housing, services, stores, and entertainment. A whole new city would need to be built from the ground up. The new city of Longview was incorporated in July 1923. Mr. Long was a devout Christian and understood the importance of addressing the spiritual needs of the residents of the city.
Concerning the religious functions of this new city, I wish that we might have just one church, a united church. Mr. Morris, my manager of city development, thought it would take quite a while for a single denomination to be strong enough to build a church of its own.
On October 21st, 1923, Longview Community Church was organized and started meeting in the community building on Oregon Way. Ed Gebert, a young pastor from Tacoma, was hired to lead the new congregation. In December of that year, they moved to the new YMCA and met there for the next 3 years. Sunday school classes were held at the new Kessler School, with weekly attendance soon reaching nearly 1,000.
We spent weeks on deciding whether to use debts rather than trespasses in the Lord's Prayer. The one thing with which I began my leadership was this challenge. If we disagree, let us still be friendly. But we soon discovered that we all believed in one God, we had the same Bible, we enjoyed the same hymns, and we felt that prayer was an open road to each traveler.
Architect H.L. Copeland's vision was that the new church facilities would support 7-day-a-week use by young and old. He said, "Our plan is to lead the social service work of our city, not to follow." Copeland originally designed a 1,200-seat Gothic Revival sanctuary with an 80-foot bell tower. Seating was reduced to 800 when the first construction bids were too expensive. Mr. Long donated the land, $25,000 towards the eventual $125,000 construction cost, and arranged a loan at a St. Louis bank. 720 individual donors contributed between $5 and $500 each, with most donations under $60. Bricks were sold for $1 each.
Ground was broken in June 1925 with the same silver spade that was used to begin construction of Longview Memorial Hospital, now St. John. Since a whole city was being built from scratch, experienced contractors and skilled labor were readily available. Construction of the substantial structure proceeded rapidly. Only 14 months after groundbreaking, the new sanctuary had been completed and was ready for its first services. Dedication of the new building was held on Sunday, August 29th, 1926. It included 3 services with inspiring words by Reverend Gebert, Mr. Long, and 2 guest speakers. A concert on the new 1,000-pipe Bennett organ was held later that evening. The Longview Daily News reported that 3,000 worshipers took part in the services, and warmed by the amber lights, the church was as a haven of refuge from the humdrum of a workaday world. Music was important from the earliest days of the congregation. The choir was one of the first groups organized and was accompanied by the new pipe organ. Mr. Long had also donated 11 large tower bells in honor of his wife, Ella.
Early on, the Ladies' Aid Society and several neighborhood circles were organized. They raised $10,000 toward the building fund, cooked church dinners, helped with junior church, called on newcomers and the sick, and worked with the local welfare board. Ruth Gebbert started and led junior church and was a wonderful support to her husband. She would often invite new church attendees to their home for Sunday meals.
Here we are tonight. I'm E.H. Gebbert, the pastor of the church, and you're my good wife.
Well, what's this idea behind this community church idea?
Well, you remember shortly after we arrived, they had the idea, and they were all newcomers, strangers each to the other. They had come here from all parts of the United States, but it was amazing how unified and how understanding they were with one common purpose. They had an ideal, and that was that unity in religion and the work of Christ and for the kingdom would be a good thing.
Well, do you think it has achieved that end?
And they said in the beginning, outsiders looking on, that a community church will never work. You can't do it. You do it for a while, but it'll fall apart. Well, evidently, that isn't the case, because we certainly are a lot stronger today than we were 25 or 30 years ago.